हाँ सर
See, mostly. What?
बोले सर
नहीं, कुछ नहीं. Okay. So what we are doing right now, we are writing the TypeScript, correct? On one page means that is a TS page dot TS, and on one side we are writing on the HTML page, correct? HTML. What is both known as? Sometime you will get the naming convention like that. This is known as the component. Okay. Means the .ts page that will belong to the component. Maybe in the document you will get this thing somewhere. So the .ts page that is commonly known as the component page, and this HTML, this is known as the view page. Why we telling view for the HTML? Anyone? Why we telling .html page as view?
Because showing the output means.
Yeah, correct. Because whatever we are writing on HTML page, we getting that on our browser. Correct. But whatever we are writing on the TypeScript page, that is like logical, and that not comes under the view. But with the help of whatever we are writing there, with the help of variable, this, that, we had done the interpolation. So we getting the data on the view. Means HTML page will be considered as the view, and .ts page will consider as the component. And CSS already we know that is a style. So there is no any extra naming convention for that one. Clear? If you want, you can note down this one. That will be helpful too much. Okay, it get compiled successful. Local host 42. So see, today we going to discuss regarding the decorator. What means the decorator? Already we had seen this thing. Already we had seen. But what is that actually? Decorator. And how we can create the decorator? Yeah.
Decorators are created using symbol, annotator symbol, sir.
No, that is annotation. That is
Annotation
at the
symbol.
rate, and we are telling that as annotation. So already we know that, and we had discussed something that itself we will discuss. But today we will discuss some deeply in that decorator part. Okay. So how we will tell that is decorator or something? So with the help of the at the rate symbol, we going to mark any class as the decorator. With the help of at the rate symbol, we can mark as a decorator. Okay, it taking the metadata. What all decorator we know still? What all decorator we had studied previously?
Component.
1 second.
And one.
Why nobody is just speaking? What is the issue? Whether you don't know anything or whether you know all things. Maybe there will be two cases. So in which category you are belonging? Yeah, Lalan.
Yeah,
We had discussed this thing or not previously?
yeah, I discussed.
At least tell wrong even, that's not an issue, but at least speak, then only others. I'm not telling particularly to anyone. Okay, let it to be. Why I will waste my time?
There are four
Okay.
types of sir: class, decorator, property, and method, and parameter.
Component.
Yeah. So previously we had seen two decorator. One was ng model, correct? And second was the component. And in the component, we was seeing that at the rate component was written. So that is component decorator. One is the component and one is the ng model. ng model belonging to the module level decorator, and at the rate component belonging to the component level decorator. Correct. But both are known as class level decorator. Okay. And inside the decorator, what we are passing? What we are keeping inside the decorator? That is metadata. Same thing we can look over ng model, ng module. Inside the ng module also we are passing the metadata. What all metadata are available? One is declaration, One is import, provider, bootstrap. What is the use of import? What it will hold?
The module.
Address, sir.
Yeah. So it will hold module, not the address. It will hold the class name. Whatever is written there, it will belong to the class name. But it will contain all the module. It's going to group the module together. Correct? Then declarations. What it will take?
Component.
Component.
It will contain all the components. What all components are used in your application? Okay, those all component will be comes under which one? Those all will be inside the declaration section. What about the bootstrap?
Bootstrap is connecting the one page means
One page means which one?
Target.
Target.
Targeting the code.
Which one means which one it targeting?
app component.
No. Something is
Bootstrap
missing.
means, sir,
Module.
bootstrap means, sir, whatever you pass inside the bootstrap, it's showing
Whatever
first.
we are
Sir.
triggering for
Visual, sir.
triggering purpose.
Triggering. Yeah, main keyword is that triggering. Means
Yes.
which component you want to trigger first. Okay.
Yes.
That component you have to pass inside the bootstrap. What about the providers? What we will pass inside the providers?
Services.
Service.
Services. Okay, so these all four metadata we had seen inside the ng module, and ng module is the module level decorator and component is the component level decorator. Now we will go through the explanation. Okay, so decorator is a function. How you telling that decorator is a function? See this parenthesis. Maybe due to that it's telling that is a function. Okay, so be not worry regarding that one. We can create the decorator by adding the @ expression, where @ expression is the name of the decorator. Like here we had added @ng module, means that become the name of the which one? Decorator. What is the name of decorator? That is ng module. Here we are adding @component. What is the name of the decorator? Component. Okay, so decorator will contain metadata. We will use it to decorate components, directives, angular modules, etc. So with the help of that, we can decorate different things. Still we know component and angular module. We don't know the directives and other things. Okay, so here some of the list of the decorators. Okay, we had kept all the list. You can keep in mind some of them, means some are the important. So the following is the component complete list of the decorator in Angular. ng module, that is the module level decorator, and component, that is component level decorator. We don't know regarding injectable and these all things. Okay, but we will get soon. Inject you will get inside the service. If you will create service, then that will be comes under the service level decorator. So just few of these, keep in mind the names. Okay, this will be helpful. Okay, so there are four type of, one second. There are four different types of decorator. What are the different types? First is the class level decorator. Second is the property level decorator. Next, method level decorator and parameter decorator. You have to keep in mind these all four category and examples in interview they asking. First is the class level decorator. We apply the class decorator to classes like ng module, component, injectable, directives, and pipe are class level decorator in the Angular. We have to keep in the mind some examples like what all the, see what in an interview they are asking, what is decorator, what are the types of decorator. So there are four type of decorator. Give example of each type of decorator. Okay, so class level decorator, we already know that ng module and component, two things we know that very well. So @ng module, in the module you will get that in the module. In the module, what it happen? ng module decorator define the classes as the Angular module and add the required metadata to it. Second, nothing is there more explanation required. These all. Second is the @ component. it will be available in the component, and the Angular recognizes the class as the component. Means as suppose if you return prefix with any name as Mr. and Mrs. You can easily identify Mr. means male, Mrs. means female. Like that, you can easily predict that. So same thing it happening here also. If you return at the rate ng module, what is that one? If be written at the rate ng module means what? That belonging to module, correct? That belonging to the Angular, that class belonging to the Angular module. If be added at the rate component means what? That class belonging to component, correct? So with the help of that at the rate component, at the rate ng module, at the rate injectable, with the help of this itself we can get easily what is that. Okay, so next is the injectable. Injectable decorator has two purposes. One, it instructs the Angular that in class needs and dependency, the Angular compiler will generate the necessary metadata to create the class dependency. And second, using the provide in be inform the dependency injection system how to provide the services. See, for right now, just keep in mind the name. What is the extra remaining you will get after when we will discuss. But for right now, just keep in mind the name. What are the class level decorator? So component, module, injectable, directive, and pipe. At least two of them just keep in mind. So second, if you have to create a directive, what is directive? We will learn that. But if you have to create directive, what you can do? You can pass at the rate and you can pass the directive name. Like directive decorator marks a class. 1 second. Marks a class as an Angular directive. The directive helps us. What it will do? The directive help us to change the appearance, behavior, or layout of a DOM element. Means directive is another topic, complete topic itself. So with the help of directive, suppose we are writing the style. Okay, if you getting error or if you got success, suppose when you entering email ID, maybe email ID is correct or wrong. If that is wrong, we can show the error message. If that is correct, we can show something message. So with the help of directive, we can do that type of operation. That's it, right? Means written there, change the appearance or behavior or the layout of the DOM element. DOM means same thing, document object model, means UI. Next thing is the pipe, at the rate pipe. When you going to create the pipe, that time we will use the at the rate pipe decorator. Okay, so what is the use of pipe? We will learn that, but we can tell means with the help of pipe we can transfer the data from one form to another form. Okay, so for right now, just keep in mind what are the class level decorator and what is class level means what are the types of the class level decorator, ng module and component. At least that's it. Second is the property decorator. What it will do? Property decorators are applied to the properties of the class. Means it not going to mark in the class. As like here, we had marked here itself on the top in the class level. But at the rate means property, it will not mark in the class. It will mark with the property. What are the property? In the JavaScript, we was writing the property. Can anyone explain any examples for the property?
Property and value, sir.
Yeah, means no, not that. Means any examples of property. See, method was there, property was there, correct? So any examples of property? I think length, array dot length.
It is called
Correct or not?
method, na, sir. Array dot
Method.
length.
Wait 1 second. See that we're giving
Property.
property now. Put the cursor. See.
Yeah, sir. Property.
Okay, so with the help of at the rate means when we have to mark the decorator at the property, then that time we will use the property decorator. Okay, so this is the property. So suppose that when we want we can use that type of decorator. So most common use of that means most commonly used property decorator, that is input and output. Input output to decorator. What is that input and output? Suppose you have to communicate with parent and child, means suppose two component. These all actually are separate topic. Now we are studying just a decorator. Okay, so we will not explain more deep regarding these all concept. We will study what is decorator, what are the types of decorator, and some few exam means line of explanation regarding each one. That's it. In decorator that will comes under. But when we will study each individual topic, that time we will study these all things. Okay. Okay. So parent and communication. So input and output. Suppose there are two component. Okay. And just consider, suppose this become your parent component. Okay. This become your parent component, and this become your child component. So if you have to pass the data from parent to child, okay, or child to parent, or child to parent, so that time we will use which one? At the rate input and output. When we will use input, when we will use output, we will see later. But input and output, this two concept we will use when we have to communicate, we have to pass data from parent to child. That time we will use this both case. Okay, means at the rate input and output comes under the property level decorator. So just you can keep in mind what are the types of the property decorator. So you can explain input and output. That's it. So property decorator are applied to the property of the class. Input decorator mark the property as the input property. That is, it can receive data from the parent component. When you have to receive data from the parent, that time you have to pass input decorator. And the parent component uses the property binding to bind it to a component property. Whatever is there, ignore right now, no issue. Just keep in mind input and output, two things. What is that? Means a property decorator, input and output. When we will use input output for the communicating with the parent and child. Next, method decorator. In method decorator are applied to the method of the class. When we are passing anything, means when we want to apply any method, so that time we will go with the method decorator. And how we are writing, see here, in the case of input output, how we are writing that input output. See this, at the rate input we means we passed input there, and some data is passing inside that one. Then here some output case, and then we are binding the data. Then method decorator. One examples we had kept. There are another more examples is there, but we had kept simple examples. See, multiple examples are there. Okay, but we had kept just a simple, at least one or two. That's it. So at the rate host listener, what it will do? Host listener listens to the host event. If you done anything, okay, on your UI, that will listen with the helps of the host listener. And the host listener is an element which we attach our component or directive. Using the host listener, we respond whenever user performs some action on the host element. If user will do any task, with the help of a host listener, we can perform that. Means we can show that pop-up or alert or something like that. So for means we have to keep in mind regarding that each type and plus their examples, how they are working. That thing actually. Next, parameter decorator. Inside parameter decorator are applied to the constructor parameter of the class. So just keep in mind at the rate inject means that is injectable. When we will learn the services, that time we will get that idea. So it will use inside the service part. Next, if we have to create our decorator, custom decorator, what we can do? You can also build your own custom decorator. You can refer this article. Okay, custom, more detail regarding the meta tag. Okay, meta tag already we had seen. So custom decorator we had not taken here because we are not going to discuss those things more. But if you want, then just click on this both link. You will get that how we can create our custom decorator. But for right now, maybe you will not get more idea. Let it to be. Okay. So what we know already, we had done the same thing. We will get again metadata. So metadata, what is that metadata? Already we had learned that. What is that metadata? These all known as metadata or not?
Yes,
So
sir.
what it is doing? What was the definitions of
Declare class,
metadata?
sir.
Used to
Metadata
class, sir.
declare
Decorate the
class.
class, sir. It is
It's
using to
decorate the
decorate it
class.
class.
Okay. So metadata that determines how to process what we can spell instantiate and use the component at runtime. This is the proper definition of the metadata. Okay. The decorator in TypeScript are like annotations in Java or attributes in C#, different languages. So metadata property, something is there. Component decorators. In component decorator, what we are going? Preserve white spaces. Yesterday we had written that preserve white spaces. Then interpolation, encapsulation, animations, styles, style URL. We already written these all things. See that in our component level. We are already using template URL. Then we can use the template also. Then a style URL. We can use the style also here. Means different metadata are. So these are the some different examples. What each will do, that is some example, something is written there, one line. Change detection. Change that detection strategy used by this component, means you can detect the changes. View provider, list of the providers available for this component and the view for their children. No need this much. Just keep in mind what is the definition of the metadata. After that, just keep in mind some few, like yesterday, means that day itself we had it shown you.
Template style.
Template, correct. Then a style. One more baj I had a discussion that preserve white
Yes,
space.
is your white space.
Correct. And some
And
more we can. Why we got
interpolation.
error? Type string is not assignable to boolean. What it's giving? Oh, that is boolean actually. No? That's why. Yeah. Next, it's showing that interpolation also. I don't know whether it will work or not. Yeah. What error came? What will be value? Some error. Keep cursor. Check the error. Type a string is not unable to type a string. No. Let it to be.
सर बिग
Something
ब्रैकेट
is
टेस्ट के लिए
big bracket. This one you're telling.
इसके अंदर वो भी है ना
And
वो
then inside a string. No, something different. It type is not assignable to type a string, comma string. Source has zero element, but target. Okay, 1 second. Component interpolation. String, comma string. Take this one. Yes. Okay. Next, providers. We can pass provider also. Why each one is giving error? What they want? Okay, provider will take inside the array. Yeah. So see this much metadata we had written. Why provider? Because you see that provider is already written in the here also. Same provider we can write there also, but there are some difference when we will learn that services part. That time we will discuss these things. Okay, what is the difference in both case when we writing provider there and means app module, then what is differences? Okay, fine. So here we had written something. One second. Yeah, so here we had written some white means some metadata. So in this all metadata, just keep in mind some of few metadata. Like just now we had seen. So just approx 4-5. Just keep in mind what are the metadata are available. So there are examples. Means each have one line of explanation. If you want, you can go. Otherwise, if you want, you can ignore. So next is the template and template URL. Is explanation required? Yesterday itself we had explained the same thing. Template and template URL. Same line of code. If we means with the help of template URL, we was referring which one? We was referring which file?
HTML.
HTML file. But if you not
HTML.
want to refer, if you not want to refer the HTML page, you can write the same line of code in direct to template also. You can write directly to template. It will work. Let's save and check on app component. Oh, it already giving error. Remove this. Anti-rotate. Where is that? The template. A student detail it's coming. Okay, let me comment that HTML file first. Anyway, that is not okay. Fine. So here what we had written something h1, that is template, then we written hr, and then we had written the div. So same thing we had written, and we got the output on our UI also. But if you want, if the code become too much lengthy, it become very much complicated to handle. So we will not write HTML on the which one, on the .ts, means a TypeScript page. Means commonly we can tell which one file. TypeScript is also known as which, what file name. We had a start, means during a starting itself I had told TypeScript .ts page will commonly known as component, and .html page, what it will know? .html page, what it will known as?
You.
View. So .ts will known as component, .html will known as the view. So on component we will not write the HTML. Otherwise it become too much problem, because if you writing, suppose just this is 2 line of code, so it's become easy, it's okay. But if it become 500 line of code, it become the issue. That's why we will not write on means HTML. We will write separate on the HTML page, and we will refer that with the help of the template URL. So via template URL, you will refer that particular section, and then we will write like that itself. Clear? Next, external template. Same thing. External template in the sense template URL. Via template URL, we will write that. This is examples written. Just explanation is written there. So with the help of means external file, that is app component.html, we are taking those all data and we are displaying on our UI, means UI. Needs to remember below point about the template property. Each of these two must be presented in the component to link it to an external template. Which one have to present? That is a template URL, or an inline template, that is a template. Means if you have to link HTML page, then two things is compulsory. Out of these two, one should be compulsory. Which one? Like this template URL should be there, or otherwise this template should be there. Because if you will pass template or template URL, then only you can write the HTML content. Correct or not? When we can pass a template URL or template, then only we can pass the HTML content. Otherwise, if suppose I going to comment both of that, now tell me whether we will get the output. What we will get on our UI? Nothing we will get, because you not getting the HTML page, and even you are not referring. Correct or not? So we will not get. Let's see whether we getting any error or what is happening. So we not getting anything. Is any error? See in console. We got the error. What is the error? Component selector app root, and there it's showing some error. What is the error? Okay, means it is compulsory to pass whether anyone. See that the error on the UI itself, you getting component is missing a template. Correct. So template is compulsory, means whether external or internal, anyone should be required. You can't skip that. Clear or not? So if you use template and template URL, both properties, it will generate the error. Means if you writing external also and inline also, inline in the sense template, this one, then you will get the error. So you can't write like that. Fine. Next, with an inline template, we lose the feature like Visual Studio. Means when we writing template in place of template URL for writing the HTML here, if we will use this one, okay, then what will happen? We will not get any external intelligence. Suppose when we start writing on HTML page, we getting everything. When we writing H1, we getting automatic that H1 suggestions. P, then we getting the P suggestions. Means we getting the intelligence support. Whatever support is there due to the editor. But when we writing on the TS page, we not getting that support. That we are losing there. Clear? Next, TypeScript code is not easy to read and understand if we will combine with an HTML inline template. Means if we writing together both, then it will be not easy. The view template is inline in a pair of the backtick marks. Means when we writing template URL, this one, we have to write inside the backtick symbol and see that backtick symbol. But when you writing the template URL, single quote should be there or double quote, anything. But when we writing template, then backtick symbol should be there. Next,
दोनों स्लीपर्स से थ्रू करेगा
what?
चार टेम्पलेट and
Your voice is breaking. Okay, so you telling if we will write both, then whether error or not. Let's see what output we got and what error. Any error is there? Where is the output? We not get the output. See, even we not got any error here, but we not getting the output also. Correct. But comment and let's see.
so we getting outputs In
One
my case,
second.
I'm checking output will come when we
Yeah,
both cases run.
one second, one second. Output will come because here that was
Yes,
means
sir.
commented. That's why. But it's not good. Error in the sense you getting confused. Which one have to load like that? Why taking this much time in loading? So we got the data.
459.
So be getting data from where? The template URL means not the inline one. Inline that is in template. So we will not write like this way. Okay. Then view template is inline and pair. If the HTML is present in more than one line, backtick should be used inside of the single or double quotation mark as shown below. Means when you are writing more line of code, then in that scenario you have to pass inside the backtick should be inside the double or single quote. Okay, let it to be. Anyway, we're not going to write that. Next, same thing, a style and a style URL. I'm not going to explain this. Same thing will be here be passing the style. Okay, and then here be passing the inline style. Where is that? Sorry, that inline already here we passed there itself, and then we can pass the external. External already we are means we already link up that one. Okay, then next preserve white space. So preserve white space, we know that the decorator function of component takes the object and its object contain the many property. So we learn more about the preserve white space properties of the. Using this property we can remove all the white spaces from the template. It takes a boolean value, that is it is false, it will remove all the white space from the compiled template. Means if this will be false, it will remove all the white spaces. It will true, it will not remove the white space from the compiled template. So already we had written the code. Just you want, you can just take this copy and paste and just you can check. Nothing issue is there. And here you have to pass that preserve white space. But some code is written here itself because now we are learning for the template and template URL. That's why you will get a code in both scenario, external and inline. But don't follow like this way. You can follow like external itself. Means on the .html page itself, you can write and you can try. So here it's showing preserve white space with a true. White spaces are there or not? Let's see next. Preserve white space with false. So where is the output? So see, in the button case, Angular 2, Angular 4, 5, 6, 7, the button space is not there. But come to the top, button spaces are there. So in this scenario, means this type, it is going to preserve the white spaces. Okay, so this was the decorator. So in decorator, what we seen that total we have to learn about the types of the decorator. What are the types of decorator? After that, in each decorator type, we have to keep in mind the examples. Means what all types they are containing, like class level decorator. So what are the means which one is the comes under the class level decorator? Component, ng module. Second, property level decorator. Which one will comes under the property level decorator? At the rate input, at the rate output. Okay. Next, method level decorator. Method level decorator, that is a host listener. Okay. Next is parameter decorator, that is injectable or inject. You can tell like inject or injectable, anything. It's not an issue. Then next, what we had seen regarding the metadata. Metadata, in metadata, what we seen, there are different metadata they containing, means in the component itself, like template URL, then preserve white space, some providers like that. So this was the complete document of the decorator. Anyone having issue, tell me. For decorator, we have to keep in mind what is decorator, what are the types of decorator, and at least 2 examples or 1 example wherever possible, you have to keep in mind. In interview, they are asking this question, and if you will attend interview, okay, means suppose if he ask a question, then sure second or third question will be your decorator. That is 100%. Like that type they are asking, and they want that only. Means what is decorator? What are the types of decorator? At least one example. That's it. They will not ask that what is ng module, what is at the rate component. But you can explain if you know. You can explain, and we will learn these things upcoming, because these all are the separate topic itself. So here I will not explain more, because anyway you not have more idea. That is the thing. Tell me, anyone having any issue? All are sleeping.
No, sir.
Got it or not?
It- got it, sir.
So this is like a theoretical. Okay. So just remember that point.
Sir, please share a material.
What to share?
Sir, the material.
Yeah. That I
Videos.
will share. Yeah, that I will share anyway. We will create. See my scenario. Understand the scenario. Then we will move. And don't sleep. Really. If you will sleep, then I will start sleeping again. So this is one module. Suppose that this is your student, student module, and there is parent module. Are you getting what means module or not? Hello? Module means which one?
Yes, sir.
Module means the ng module itself. Okay. So okay. So there is one student module, one parent module, and I want one component. And one component here also. That is a student component. Okay. See, this is interesting thing, and this is like a real example type. So please participate, then only you will get the idea. Okay, this is a student component, and this is parent component. This is your root module. Which one? App
Test route.
component. Okay, that is app component. What you have to do on app component.html, you have to display a student component data. Means on a student component.html, everybody means already your project is running or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So on a student component, you have to display just normal text, nothing is there. Hello student, that's it. Okay, this will be on your HTML. And on parent component, you have to display hello parent, just for understanding purpose that this is your parent component or this is your student component. So hello parent. So this one, okay, means in your student component this data have to come, in your parent component this data have to come. You have to do up to here only, this both case, but module should be there. Means each one, first do one thing, create the module, create component, but don't use the module. Okay, directly display the data of hello student and this hello parent on your app root directly. That becomes simple. Correct or not? Means this will be not in your use or right now. This both. Just you have to use this two and you have to display the data. This data have to here and this data have to here. I think within 2 minutes means you can do this. It will not take time. Just do. First step, you have to create the component and you have to display the data on your app component. Clear or not? I want the output from each member. Really.
सर थोड़ा 2 मिनट टाइम से वे मेरे बंद ऑन किए हैं.
ओके ठीक है, कोई इशू नहीं. ये समझ में आया करना क्या है?
सर डायरेक्ट ऐप कंपोनेंट में ये दोनों चीज आपको प्रिंट करवाना है ना.
बस दैट्स इट. फर्स्ट स्टेप हमारा यही है. डायरेक्ट ऐप कंपोनेंट में डेटा को प्रिंट कर दीजिए. कुछ
तो
नहीं
वो-
हमें चाहिए स्टाइल ये वो कुछ नहीं. ठीक है, क्लियर? समझ में आया या नहीं आया? किन्हीं को कोई दिक्कत तो बताइए जल्दी. शिवानी, ललन, प्रफुल्ल, रोशन,
नो सर.
कोई दिक्कत नहीं? ठीक है, चलिए बनाइए जल्दी आउटपुट. तो पहले क्या करेंगे? पहले हम कंपोनेंट जनरेट करेंगे. कंपोनेंट पे हम डेटा लिख देंगे हेलो स्टूडेंट और हेलो पेरेंट और फिर उसे ऐप रूट में मतलब ऐप कंपोनेंट पे डेटा को दिखा देंगे. कैसे दिखाएंगे इतना तो जरूर सबको आता है. चलिए बनाइए. मैं रिकॉर्डिंग बंद करता हूँ. ओके
Do
देखिए,
import.
सी व्हाट वी विल डू. सो फर्स्ट वी विल see before doing any activity first make the diagram completely means a complete picture what you want to do these all scenario on your paper and pen, then only move next. So what I want first, I want one module and I want one another module, that is parent and a student module. So first create the parent module and a student module. Correct? So parent module, so we can create with the help of ng and means a parent module name. Okay, if you want inside that itself means suppose if you have to generate one folder or otherwise maybe sometime you will get confused that whether if we will generate this. Who is on unmute? See, suppose many time what it means maybe you will something mistake will happen or while writing the spelling or this that. So what you can do, you can open that terminal on this folder directly. Okay, on this folder itself and then you can write the command ngm and module name. What do you want? Module name is parent. Clear? And then you can hit the command. See the root, which one? That is parent. So you will get automatic the module inside that particular folder. Suppose that after that also we had created, see now we are looking what are the different ways by which we can create the module. If we created the module by mistake, it came outside. Suppose we creating the parent module, it came outside. What we can do? We can drag and drop from outside. We will cut the file and we will paste inside, or drag and drop. It will work. Like suppose that app module is there. Okay, just take this and drag and drop. It will be inside there and it will get auto update, or otherwise maybe sometime it will not update. So you have to update that everything's there. Clear up to here? How we will create the module. Or suppose if you want to create inside some particular folder or folder name, suppose that we want to create G for generate, M for module, and I want to create one file that is family. Okay, and inside the family I want to create the module, that is family module. So you can create like this also. You can give the folder name here, and after that, this will be your file name. Press enter. And see this, what it will do. It created inside the family, and there is one more family folder, and inside that it created. See this. Inside the family, one more time family folder is there, and then family module came. Means if you want to generate folder, means if you want to generate file inside the folder, you can pass the folder name by yourself. Clear? So these are the different ways by which we can generate the file, means whether component or module or services, anything we can generate like this way. Fine. So up to this, no one having issue. So we created one student module and one component parent module. Let's open the parent module. Let's open the student module. Fine. And after creating this both module, a student module or parent module, what we have to do? A student module got created. So in the inside the student module, you have to update the student component. Correct. So inside that we have to update. If that is not available, then you have to do that manually. Okay. So what we will do here, we will write import, and we will take the second one. Remove dot slash a student component. So we will take the student component, this one, and here we will pass the class name, that is a student component class. Just press Control space, you will get suggestion automatic. After that, out of this both declaration and import, who will hold component information? Who will hold component class? Declaration or import? Which one?
Declaration.
Declaration. If you have not idea, no problem. Look over app module.ts. That's I had told. You can take the reference of the app module.ts. Inside the app module, see that declarations, it holding all the component detail. Then inside the import, it holding all the module information. Correct? So like this way we can get the idea. Okay. So inside the declaration, we have to pass a component detail. So I written the component detail. Save. Now come to the parent module. Same thing we will do in the parent module also. If the parent component is imported there, fine. If not, you have to import. Now, if we imported the parent component inside the parent module, this was our requirement. Parent component or a student component should be inside the our module. So that I done. Can we do the same import there also? Means at two place inside the app. Sorry, this is not app component. This is module. So can we do the same import of the means same component can be import in two module inside the student module and app module at both places? What you thinking? We can do or not? Means now this parent component, just consider any one. Remove this. Just consider parent module because parent and student both are same type. So inside the parent module, we had imported the parent component. Can we import the same parent component inside this student module? What are you thinking? Can we do this or not?
Yes, sir.
We can do. Okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
A student component. Let's see. Is there any error we getting?
Sir, yes, sir. Because if their export keyword is used, then it
We're not using any export keyword. What is my question? My question is that one component, any one component can be imported inside two module or multiple module. Single component can be passed inside multiple module or not? That is the question. Let's verify the error. or be getting the error or not. So what it's showing? Read the error. A student component fine .ts line number 11 error something is there. The component a student component is declared by more than
More
one
than one.
ng module. Got the error? Means this a student component you had declared inside more than one module. So what are you thinking? We can do that or not? Means I don't know whether you got the question or not. Question is that can be pass single component component can be pass single component inside multiple module. This is the question. Now tell me, can we pass a single component inside multiple module? Multiple module. Single component means which one? Now for right now, single component that is parent or a student. Correct or not?
Parent.
And multiple module means a student module.
Yes.
No, a student module and which is another one? And
Parent.
app module.
App module.
Correct or not? Means for right now we had imported inside a student module also and app module also. Which component? A student component. See that one time. This is your student component. This is available inside ng module of which one? App component. Sorry, app module. This is your app module. Inside app module also we had imported that component, and inside parent module also inside parent module also we had imported the parent component. Means one component and multiple module we can't import. We can't do that. Got it? Means if you have one component, you have to pass that component inside one module itself. You can't pass inside the multiple module. What we had done here, we had passed the component, parent component inside the parent module also, and same thing we had done inside the app module also. So this is wrong. We can't, sorry, this line. We can't pass one component inside multiple module. This become wrong, and that's why we got error here. This error. See the line clearly. The component, a student component, is declared by more than one ng module. Means it is available inside multiple module. Maybe somewhere error will be there. No, it's not showing. Which means which one? It's not showing. 1 second. Yeah, it's showing. I think. Export class a student module, implement ng on init a student module. Okay, inside a student module that is available. Correct? A student module and a student module. Yeah, and in app module dot ts means same thing is available inside the app module dot ts and a student module dot ts. So this is not allowed. Means we can import at only one place, whether in the student module or whether in the app module. Clear this line or not? So remove this, because this is not my requirement. My requirement is that you have to pass inside your module, not in the root module, not in the app module. That's why I will not pass here. But yeah, I will pass which one? Module. App module means a student module, because same requirement we had written here. A student module, parent module, and this a student module or parent module we will take this a student module, and we will take this a student module, and we will pass with which one? This is your app module. Up to here, clear or not? And
Yes, sir.
I had not given this picture because I had thought maybe you will decide something. Maybe you will think that how that will get. Means see what you doing. We are taking a student module and we are taking app means parent module, and both module we are passing in our root module. Which one, component or module? We are taking the module, not the component, because component is already the part of our module. Here also see, correct? But we are making the module. Each module be passing inside the root module, and then root module will pass to our app component. Means lastly our data will display where? On app component, but not directly. That will come via app module. Up to here, clear? Or anyone having doubt? Up to this picture, had you got the clarity over the scenario?
Yes.
What about
Yes, sir.
others? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Clear.
okay, so what we had done, we had taken this a student component and we had passed inside the a student module. See that we had taken the, where is that? Remove this. Yeah. Parent. Yeah. So we had taken the component, parent component, and we had passed inside the parent module. Clear? Parent component, and we had not passed. Means still see this app module is not in the picture. Up to here, app module is not in the picture. Our component and our module is in the picture. Okay, so parent component came. Same thing we will do for the student also. Let's look one time, then we will move. Okay, so this is your student component .ts, and this is your student module. So here we had written a student component and we imported the student component. Up to here, anyone having any issue? Tell me. No problem. Next, what we will do? We will take parent module and a student module, because next scenario, see, for app module, which one? Parent student module and parent module. This will be now came in the picture. So we do the same thing. A student module, parent module, and app module. 3 file. See what we had done. We taken the parent module and a student module and we pass inside the app module. See this. This is module. This is not component, because already via parent module we reached up to parent component, or a student module we reached up to a student component. Is that or not?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because up to parent module, with the help of this app module, we reached here directly, because anyway parent module is linked with here, so we reached here, and app module is linked with, means sorry, parent component is linked with the our parent module, so indirectly we reached there. Same scenario going in the student also. When we going in the reverse, we reached here, and in the student module a student component is linked, so we reached here. Clear? Second case, so if we means if a link up is already done, then what is the next case? Next case, this hello student and this hello parent have to display on app component. How to display? Same scenario. We already know how to get the data of any component. What we will use? How to target component? With the help of which one?
Selector.
Selector. So we will take the selector of both component and we will pass there. Okay, so which component? We will take the selector of a parent component and a student component, and where we will pass? On the root component. Correct? See this picture. Lastly, where the data have to come? Data have to come on the app component. How that will come? Selector. Where we will pass the selector? We will pass the selector on the app component.html. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Take
Yes.
that. So now come to app component, means app component.html, and pass the selector here. Okay, but I will take just only one selector. Later we will take the another also. Now save the data and now look over the output. Yeah, this is the output. What output came? App student is not a known element. If app student is an Angular component, then verify that it is a part of this module. Which module? This module. Which module? This module means which one? Tell me.
Module.
No.
Sir, one time repeat, sir.
Okay. See this error message. App student. Where we had written app student? Here. Correct or not? See this.
Yes.
See this picture one time. Here we had written. If you will understand this one, means you got more clarity over these all things. App student. Yeah. So here we had written app student. It means that it going to target. App student means it going to target which file?
Approved.
App
Student.
student. Which what? Student component module. Which one?
Uh,
Student module.
component, sir.
1 second. A student module you told. On module page, are you getting this app dash student anywhere? App dash student. What is
Student
that?
module link up with the web module.
That's okay. But if we are writing this app dash student, means we are targeting some particular file, and this name, this is selector actually, correct? And this selector
Yeah.
is available on which file? Module or component?
Component.
Component. Student
Component
component.
means indirectly what you telling, you telling that to display this component on this page
App-
means,
app-
yeah, you telling that indirectly app dash student is the selector, and that is selector of a student component. So you want the data hello student directly on the app component. But now tell me, is that app student component link up with the app component module? Is that linked with that one directly? That is no any
No, no.
direct relation. Correct?
Yes, no.
Relation is there, but via a student module.
Link up.
Correct or not? Both
Yes.
both are in linked, but via a student module, and then via one more is came app module. Correct or not? So in middle app component and a hello student means a student component. In between of this both, a student module is there and app module is there. Two things. Now suppose that if this student component will not available up to here app module, you can't get the data, because previously when this was not in the picture and this also was not in the picture, that time this student module was registered where? Which module? Inside which module a student component was registered?
App model.
App module,
Module.
initially a stage. Correct or not? On the initial stage when we had not created a student module and parent module, that time a student component was part of the app module. Correct? Same scenario, but now what happened? It not get linked directly. In middle a student module came and parent module came. So but we are writing selector, we are writing everything same thing, there is no any difference. but some problem is there. That's why we can't get this student component on app component.html. We can't get this student component data on app component on means this one app component. So what we have to do, we have to export inside app module, means inside the student module or inside the parent module. We have to export the component. Okay, because it was giving error. See the error, it telling that app student is an Angular component. Okay, it is a component, that's fine. If this is component, then verify that it is a part of this module. This module means which module, on which page it is using, on which page the selector is written. So selector is written on which page, app component.html, means this selector if be written on there, then this component should be part of our module. Which module? App module, because we are using on this component. So let's verify on app module, is component, a student component is available here or not? A student component is available here or not? What are you thinking? A student component, it's not available. A student module is written, not the component. Clear? So that's why we are not getting that component here. What we have to do, whenever you are importing one module inside the another module and taking the data, in that case you have to export the component. So now go to your student module or parent module anywhere. So here we had declared the component declarations, we had written the component. You have to use one more keyword here, export. What are you telling, Dharminder? Here you have to use exports, and inside export, what all component you want to export. So which component is the part of the student module? Which component? A student component. So I want to, and same thing we are using on which file? App component.html. On app component.html we are using app-student, means this is coming from the app component.ts, correct? Means app component dot, sorry, a student component.html. So means a student component we have to export. If we will export there, then see what will happen. So we have to export. So we have to pass the name here, square bracket, and a student component. Okay, that's it. We not have to do anything extra. This line only you have to add, and now check the error. What happened? Got it? Let's refresh. Me see, sometime you will not get the output. You have to refresh the page. We not get the output. That was old output itself. Now come to the app component.html. App student is written. That's fine. App module is also fine. App component is also fine. Let's refresh the page. Yeah. Now see, sometime what happened, due to cache, you will not get the output. So you have to hard refresh the page. How to hard refresh? You know? Anyone? How to hard refresh? You have to press Shift and F5. Shift and F5. Okay, then it will do the hard refresh. If you will press F5, that will refresh, but it will maybe your due to cache you will not get the proper output. So you have to do hard refresh, that is Shift and F5. Okay, so now see what we getting. We getting the data on the student details. So now go to the parent detail and check what we had done and not. Let's uncomment this parent component. Let's save and check whether we getting the output. Let's refresh the page. We get the output. Sorry, we get the error. What error is there? Now you can justify, you can identify.
Export.
See the error. App component is not the Angular component, then verify it is a part of the this module. Which module? Same module, app component.html. So app module. On app module, we are using parent module, not the component. Means now go to the parent component. Sorry, parent module. Click here itself. You will reach directly. So now here we are using the component. But we have not exported the component. So how we will get that? So we will export that. And parent, sorry, parent component, and let's save and let's refresh the page. Why it not came? Parent component be exported. Fine. App module, save one more time. Here, save one more time. Okay. Let's see. Got it. Parent works. And a student detail. This data coming from the parent. This data is coming from the student. Now see, you can look over. Parent module, we had a declaration and we had export. In JavaScript, we had learn import and export. That time I had told we will use these things in Angular too much. See, when we exported, now in our means now this is the part of the module. Means 1 second. Okay. Now see, a student component is the part of the a student module. Means after declaring the student component inside the student module, it become one locked. It become one packet and it locked that component. Okay. Same thing it done for the parent module. Parent component we had passed inside the parent module and it kept in one packet and it become locked. Now it will not use that component. Now that will pass, means that particular module it will pass to somewhere. So that module become available here. This module become available here. But the module is available, but this component will be not available. So what we have to do, because this is inside this packet, this is completely wrapped. So what you have to do, you have to export. As you had written here, keyword export in this one. Export this complete, whatever you are exporting inside this pack means whatever you will write inside the export here, whatever you will write, that particular component, module or text, whatever you are writing, that become get exported. And once it get exported, you can use in any component, not that app component only. You can use anywhere. Like suppose we have any third component. Okay. And that also using some component. Just you can take the selector of app dash parent. That's it. It will work there also. Because why it will also work there? Because we had exported. Got it? We had exported that, and due to export, that will available anywhere. Got it? Clear or not? Anyone having any issue? Tell me. So why this process? We can create multiple module and we can pass who is playing main role while receiving the component to the another, means another module, who is playing, which keyword is playing main role, which metadata?
Export, sir.
Yeah.
Export.
So export is playing the main role, because if you not exported, means that will not available on that level, means where you using. Suppose that it's a not directly. This is like nested. Is that or not? It nesting inside this, then it going to inside this like chain nesting. So if you using suppose directly, suppose this component directly in this module, you can use directly here. It's not an issue. No need of export because it is just one level. App component already the part of the app module. It's not an issue. But if you taking the app module and in the app module somewhere means the data is coming from some other component or other module. So you have to use the export keyword and then you will get the data. That was the thing. So now if you created another module, you can create a multiple module and multiple component and you can pass anywhere. It's not an issue. So what is the best practice of writing the code? You have to create each module separately. Inside each module, you can create multiple component. It's not an issue, but you can create each module with their component. Each module with their component. And when you using in the app, this is app. Okay, when you using inside the app, then you will use this module and this module, not the component. Okay, because component already we had passed inside our module. So we will write like this type always. From now onwards, whenever you creating, you have to create one folder. Inside that folder, you will create the module and you will create the component. Already we had done the same scenario. We had created the parent component, we created the parent module. This type we have to follow. Tomorrow we will learn the services. So we will create the service also inside that folder itself. Means in one package, we will kept service component module. Regarding means whatever service module and component required for that particular folder. You can tell just now for folder. For parent, suppose that component module services, everything we will keep inside that itself. Clear? Anyone having any issue? Tell me.
It's clear, sir.
Clear. Just
Yes.
do one thing. You can